This is the MAP assessment training for the 2018-2019 school year. In this training, we will cover all the information you need to know before testing, during testing, and after testing is completed. To start, let's take a look at test administration. Within a test, there are different sessions. A student may not return to a session once it has been completed and submitted. Some items include multiple parts over more than one page. Students may need to use the vertical scroll bar to view an entire page. Students may mark items for review and return to those items within a session. This is notified by a small flag button that the students will click on the question that they wish to mark for later review. Students must complete the assessment within the district testing window. DeSoto's testing window is April 1st through May 14th. Students may pause the assessment during a session. This pause may be up to 20 minutes long. After that time, the student will be automatically logged out. A student may log back in after a pause and resume the session. They may also go back and review any questions within that session, but they will not be able to go back to any previous sessions. All highlighted text and sticky notes will be saved when a test is paused. In the event of a power outage or technical issue with a testing device, all work is saved and the student may move to another district device to resume testing. The only information that is not saved would be information on a question they were currently working on that they had not submitted before the power outage or technical issue. There are no time limits for the assessment. Students can take as long as needed for a session and can break that session into multiple sessions if needed. Here we have the different time lengths for each session. Now these are approximate time lengths and it may take more or less depending on the student. ELA Session 1 is typically 40 to 95 minutes. ELA Session 2, 20 to 40 minutes. ELA Session 3, 15 to 30 minutes. Math Session 1, 15 to 25 minutes. Math Session 2, 45 to 70 minutes. Math Session 3, 30 to 40 minutes. And this does include performance event. Universal tools and accommodations. The MAP assessment provides universal tools and accommodations to help students demonstrate their knowledge of the Missouri Learning Standards. Universal tools are available to all students taking the grade level assessment, unless otherwise noted. Accommodations must appear in a student's IEP or 504 plan. For special education students, the IEP team should choose all of the tools and accommodations that a student will receive. Universal tools should only be used with students if it is an identified need and has been used for prior formative or summative assessments throughout the year. This should be made by a teaching team to make sure that it is a benefit to the student. Online tools training and tutorials are available through the Insight desktop icon. It is recommended that all staff go through the online tools training with students prior to testing. User roles. The district test coordinator is responsible for training all school test coordinators. The school test coordinator is responsible for training all test examiners. That is the training that you are receiving today. Now, test examiner responsibilities. They should ensure that all testing materials are secure at all times. Both written and verbal discussion of specific MAP grade level assessment items breach the security and integrity of the test. Discussion between test examiners, proctors, translators, or any district staff regarding test items is not permitted. Testing examiners. Ensure any additional testing materials or tools are available and provided. This could include scratch and graph paper or braille paper if needed. Now, after testing, check that tests have been submitted, collect all materials, including scratch and graph paper, contact school testing coordinator for guidance on any contaminated testing items. So if a student were to get sick or to have an issue with the scratch paper, you can contact your school testing coordinator for proper collection of those materials. Collect all draft, scratch, grid, graph, and braille paper and return all used materials to the district testing coordinator or school testing coordinator for secure shredding. Testing security. All test tickets must be checked out from the counseling office each day and then checked back into the counseling office after testing is complete that day. Tickets must be signed for when checking out, and then signed for again when checking back into the counseling office. All scratch paper must be collected after testing and returned for secure shredding. Testing materials. Students should have a Chromebook with Wi-Fi access. If you have difficulties with Wi-Fi access or the Chromebook, please contact your school testing coordinator. They can have a mouse if desired, and headphones are needed. Student test tickets are required, as well as scratch paper or grid paper, a calculator for approved sections only, and the math reference sheet for the math sessions. Prohibited materials include cell phones, electronic music players, digital cameras, handheld scanners, portable gaming devices, any device that can connect to internet, including smartwatches. During testing, test administrators should check the testing environment and make sure it is clear of any prohibited items before testing. This includes any items that may be hung on the walls that are prohibited during testing. Test examiners should adhere strictly to the script during testing. These are the areas after the word "say" in your testing manual. Testing examiners are allowed to read one word per sentence, but other than that should adhere strictly to the script. The script should be followed each time the test is administered. Students who are absent will be able to make up the session they miss if it is still within the district testing window. If a child becomes ill during a session, they may pause and take a break. They may return to the session when feeling better or come back another day and finish within the testing window. Students can only resume a session that has not been completed. If you have any further questions, either before, during, or after testing, please contact the school testing coordinator, and we'd be happy to give you any more information.